Welcome to the Cult Content Handbook, where I'm going to show you how to use the same tactics that the biggest creators use to build a cult-like following. These are the methods that Alex Hormozi, Iman Ghazi, Dan Koe, Mr. Beast, Devin Jatho, Matt Gray, Cody Sanchez, Colin Samir, and many more creators use to build their cult-like followings. And if you'd like to join me, I left the Gamma link down below where you can look at the same PowerPoint that I'm presenting. But I would want you to stay with me on this video also, because I'm going to give a little more in-depth insights for what the PowerPoint is saying. And if you're wondering why I should be able to talk on this one, I love content. This is all I study. I've done 125 million views for my clients. I've worked with Airrack. I've worked with Yeet, Destroy Lonely, some of the biggest rappers. I've even worked with professional pickleball teams, helping them make content. So this is what I geek out about, and this is how I'm going to show you how to build a cult-like following. And this is also my first long-form YouTube video, and I'll show you, this is the start of me building a cult following to show you how I know these methods will work. So follow along if you want to see me build that. Do you ever wonder how your favorite creators build a cult-like following? Here's them, there's you. And this is what I'm teaching you today, how to go from you, no one around you, to them. So these are the methods that Alex Hormozi, Dan Koe, Iman Ghazi, Mr. Beast, Matt Gray, Devin Jatho, Cody Sanchez, Colin Samir have all used to grow a cult-like following. Pretty much anyone that has a successful business online making content use these methods. So why create cult content? Number one, your business will never compete again. Mr. Beast doesn't compete against Hershey's. I remember him going in and he was talking about it, that people go pick Feastables out, then Hershey's. They weren't even wanting to try chocolate, but since they love Mr. Beast so much, they go and they buy the chocolate that he has. And number two, you never have to rely on ads again. You don't have to try and see which campaigns are successful, which are not. And then once they start becoming successful, and then they start diving down, and then you got to try a new campaign. You don't have to do that. Now you can just go build out your audience, post, send out an email, post a story, make a video, and it will lead to sales. Number three, have an impact on people. You can have an actual impact. Instead of just having your business out there solving that one problem, you can help many other people. Look, Alex Hormozi is trying to get people to join acquisition.com, but at the time he's helping hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people grow their own businesses, which will have an impact, and he'll probably be one of the greatest entrepreneurs to ever live. Plus more, there's so many other benefits to creating cult content. So if that sounds good for you, you're in the right place. So what does cult content look like? You are your own niche. No one else can go in Alex Hormozi's niche, because Alex Hormozi is the business guy, but at the same time, he does have the fitness, he does have the philosophy, he does, interest in comedy. He is his, Zach Prograb, the obsession guy. No one else can go and try and make obsession content like him. He is his own niche. If you can go, say, make videos on obsession, but you're not going to be Zach Prograb and how famous he is for that. Daniel Dallin, you can go and try and make cinematic vlogs about your entrepreneurship journey, but he is the guy that's doing that. If you want to go watch cinematic vlog entrepreneurs, you're going to watch Daniel Dallin. Number two, you don't build off of virality. You build off of authenticity and authority. You are authentic to the camera, showing who you truly are, while being an authority, helping people, bringing value, giving to, your community. So instead of having to rely on, I need this many views to lead to this many sales, you're slowly just building up a true audience of fans. Number three, you're building content for the long term. You're understanding that content compounds, and you're going to build a real audience for the long haul. Look how many people have been following Alex Hormozi since 2021, 2022, since he kind of really blew up, and they still are with him. They still are, they still build trust with him. They keep going. Mr. Beast, I've been watching since I was in middle school. You might have been watching Ali Abdaal for 5 years or whatever. You still have this connection to him because they understood they're going to build this trust. They're going to build this authority with you and have this connection for the long term. And number four, people become genuine fans of you. You're not looking at just followers. You're looking at people that are joining your email list, people that are actively in your communities, if that's school or Discord, and they're really coming together as a true cult community. And that's what I kind of said it earlier, but content fucking compounds. This is it. You go, I can spend ads. I'm only getting a couple hundred. You understand that these audiences, it really does have a network effect when you're building a cult online. Because if you just make content where someone likes your video and they tell 2 other people, it just goes boom like that. And that's what you're trying to do. And you're trying to just understand that within a niche. Now it's time to get really into the cult content handbook. I split it up into 4 parts. The first one, how to figure out what cult content to make, how to target your ideal cult member, how to make cult content, and how to build a cult-like community. First, how to figure out what cult content to make. I know it's corny, I know it's cheesy, but first you gotta find your why. There's a famous TED Talk / book called Start With Why, and I recommend all people wanting to create content to watch the TED Talk. But to summarize it, Simon Sinek argues that successful leaders and organizations communicate their purpose why first, and then how they achieve it how, and finally what they do what. This inspires loyalty and attracts those who believe in the cause. This is the same with content. People want to follow something bigger than them. So if you look to the right, he has this thing, it's called the golden ratio, I believe. So the why is what's the most, important thing, then goes how, then goes what. So I need you to go, I still recommend to watch the video, but I kind of summarize it there. What is your main why to creating content? How are you going to do it? What kind of, how are you going to do it? And then what does that actually look like? Look at every successful brand. They all have a why. Apple to push the status quo, Nike to just do it and push oneself to be the best them, Tesla to design sustainable systems that are massively scalable. The same principles work for cult creators. Alex Hormozi gives free business education for everyone. Lucas Packer teaches guys how to level up in life. Noah Daisel gives free fitness education for everyone. So I want you guys to ask yourself, what is your why? What is the cause that your audience, that your ideal members can really get behind and stand for? And I'm not saying it has to be so we got to end global warming or whatever. It can just be like Alex Hormozi's is just to make more money. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of what it is. Zach Progrop's just to follow obsession, to follow what you truly want to do in life. All right, now what kind of content should you make? When people ask me what content they should make, there's no perfect one answer. You need to think where your skills and interests are best used to create content. So if you're really good at talking to the camera, if you're really good at video editing, if you're good at color grading, all the kind of video related skills, that's what I would recommend for you. Like me personally, I've edited, a bunch of content. I've sat there. I understand that video is best for me, where I'm a pretty bad writer. But if you're a good writer, you can go, write for Twitter. You can go long form with LinkedIn. But also, if you have a business you're trying to make content for, think of where your ideal audience is. Like one of my clients, for instance, is a co-founder of a social media. So many social media start off with the youth, like Snapchat and Instagram, and then they like network effect out to older people. So we're making, TikTok content because that's where a lot of the teenagers are. And then one of my other clients is a keynote speaker that teaches people how to be better leaders. So for him, we did use video content because he already was a good speaker, really good storyteller. And then he can just talk back and forth with the camera. But we understood we're targeting like 1% of the 1% because we're trying to target people in the top 500 companies that he can go and speak to. Now, part 2 of the Cult Content Handbook, how to target your ideal cult member. If you're creating content for everyone, you're creating content for no one. And when I say that, that means your content, if you're just trying to be so freaking broad, you're going to get lost in the void. I know you're going to be like, Mr. Beast makes content for everyone. You're not going to be Mr. Beast unless you're going to put every single dollar for the next 10 years back into your content. If you want to do that, hit me up. I want to watch you do that. It's pretty cool. But the majority of us, if you're trying to grow a business, that's not what's going to really happen. You want to know what your niche is. And I always say your niche is kind of where your expertise is. And now think of those people that you're really helping solve that problem. So first, think of the demographics of the people that you're trying to help. What is their age? What is their gender? What is their income? What is their education level? So for instance, if you have a slime company, you're probably targeting teenagers, most likely girls. They probably don't have a lot of money. They're probably going to have to ask their parents to buy it. So you're probably going to make fast cut, interesting ADHD, edits showing the slime or whatever. But if you're someone that's teaching people how to do online sales, you'll probably go more long form, more sophisticated understanding. They probably make more money and they're just trying to get better at that. So it's just understanding who your ideal audience is and how to make content for them. And then also when you're making content, you want to think of their values and beliefs. What is important to them? What is something they hold, important? If you're making beauty content, definitely looking attractive and feeling confident is something. That they value a lot. If you're making sales content, making a bunch of money, being the guy is probably something they really value a lot. And just understanding how to play on that. Then what is the pain points? Think of what problem are you really solving? Like for me, I'm trying to help you guys make better content and understanding how to target our audiences and build a real cult-like following. But someone else that's like a fitness coach, for instance, can go see someone, hey, I used to be chubby. Here's how that led to this. Which leads into my 4th point. What are their goals and aspirations? And then what are they trying to achieve? Say for style, how do you, get the right ratio in clothing or whatever? How can your message help them? How can you show them, teach them how to be better at putting on clothes? Media consumption habits. Where do they get their information from? If it's style, are they on Instagram seeing new fit pics? What platforms do they use? Kind of what I just said before. And what creators do they follow? Understand what your ideal audience already is watching and what they're already interested in. After you answer these questions, now think of the stereotypical person that watches your content, and every time you're script writing, think about, would this video help that person? And then if it does, it usually will really help build that cult following. Now going into my next point, all views are not the same, but all views are valuable. Mr. Beast sells a $3 chocolate bar while Alex Hormozi buys $1 million companies. So Mr. Beast is trying to get the broadest range of people and get a broad product that pretty much everyone can buy $3 chocolate bars. Most people like chocolate. Most people have $3. Where Alex Hormozi is the 1% of the 1% of the 1%. He's starting to buy companies for millions of dollars, to grow. But both of them understand targeting the right audience for their product. If Alex Hormozi was doing challenge videos like Mr. Beast and he was then still trying to buy businesses on the side, it wouldn't really make sense. Same with Mr. Beast. If he was just giving business content, then he just walked into Walmart and he saw a Feastable, you'd be like, why would I trust the business guys, just random chocolate bar? Now, one of my favorite points is understanding content supply and demand. Just like any product, there's supply and demand for views. So the goal of content creation is to meet the highest demand within your niche. And the best way to achieve this is to identify areas where your competition is falling short. Find the little pockets of your niche, no matter how saturated it is, that no one's really making content for. And the best way to do this is through a content competition map, which I linked, down below. I said in the Gamma, there's one right there. This is a kind of general one, but you can make your own on a piece of paper if you want. So in the content competition map, I put a bunch of points that you could judge someone's content on, like length of video, if it's highly edited or not, the use of humor, stories, insights, insights, flexing, tactics, trends, uniqueness, authenticity, personality, and then 0 to 10. So what I want you to do is list out 5 other people in your niche that you're most similar to, and then map out where on average they rank on a scale of 0 to 10 through these points. So if you're, for instance, realizing that everyone in your niche makes mostly short form content or their videos are at length 8 minutes, you can make a 2-hour video and really stand out. I remember recently I saw a guy who gave, business advice content, which is very neat, which is very saturated. You look at Iman Ghazi, you look at Alex Ramosi, but he sat down and gave 2.5 hours of advice. And I watched the video. I think it has over 4 million views. I'll put it up right here if I'm pretty sure I'm correct with that. And just because he did something, he saw no one else was just going to sit down. And they can give 20 minutes of how to be the most productive, but they're not going to sit down and do 2 hours of all the business knowledge they know. And it's also highly edited. Is everyone just talk to camera, basic videos? Can you do a more highly edited, more engaging, or vice versa? Is everyone just these over-the-top animations and you could do, a sit-down long form, just straight game? And then next is also, are they telling stories? Steve Jobs said it best, the storyteller is the most powerful person. And you can be telling stories that really, grab people's attention when they're just giving value and advice or whatever. So like for fitness, I know it's a value advice where it's like, oh, I can go tell good fitness stories if you have a bunch of those. You can, insights. Is everyone just telling stories the whole time? They're not really giving true value in your niche. Flexing, are you know what I'm saying, is everyone over here, they're all obnoxious, they're all arrogant, even kind of in mine, I'll see people try to be really fancy, showing you how to give viral content. I'll put on a jersey with a wife beater under, with a surfboard behind me, you know what I'm saying, but I'm going to still be here and be authentic and show myself, which is also one of mine. I have authenticity, personality. Where does your personality rank? Are people more energetic, and you can be really calm? And to prove this point home, I have Sam Sewell, who was literally one of the fastest fitness creators, which is, a very saturated niche. They've been having fitness content, it's been saturated since like 2016, but he found exactly where people in his niche of fitness were not targeting. So if you go look down, his length of videos are a lot longer, a lot of fitness videos, 8 minutes, highly edited. He has like 5 cuts in his videos total. Use of humor and skits. He's not trying to be overly funny. He does have little funny points where other people, making fitness skits and what it's like at the gym. Stories. He gives little stories here and there. His insights. There's a lot of people that are going to tell you the most biological way to do a bicep curl. Now he's just going to do a bicep curl. Like he's just going to show you himself working out, flexing. He's probably one of the most humble people where a lot of them are showing their Lamborghinis and their dyed hair or whatever. His tactics. He's not going to go show you, what I was saying, the best tricep pose or whatever. His uniqueness. He's very unique. When I first saw his video, I didn't see anything like it. Just his authenticity is obviously 10 out of 10. He's just being him. He's just documenting himself. He's not trying to play no character. His personality is just him. Now here's an idea I stole from Andrew Kirby. It's called a growth thesis, and it's pretty much just like one quote where it's really a fill in the blank question. It says, if I can blank, then it's unreasonable I won't succeed. Alex Ramosi, if I can make the most valuable free business knowledge, advice on the internet, it's unreasonable I won't succeed. Then for Ryan Trahan, if I can tell the best stories while being authentic and funny, then it's unreasonable I won't succeed. Dan Coe, if I can teach people how to stay focused and become their best selves, then it's unreasonable I won't succeed. For me personally, if I can give the best advice for people to create content to grow their businesses, it's unreasonable I won't succeed. There's no way there's not an audience for that won't watch it. Shout at you for whoever's watching it. Hopefully you've gotten a lot of advice if you stuck around this far. So I want you to understand who you're targeting in your niche, what is your main why, and then what would make it unlikely for those people not to watch your content, not to follow you. Now for part 3 of it, how to make cult content. If you're trying to make cult content, you got to become a cult leader. And if you want to be a cult leader, there's one thing they all play off of: authority. And the best way to do that, first of all, is to give value. Teach people the truly valuable information within your niche. I know you're like, I don't want to give away all the sauce. I'm telling you, you should. That's why I'm doing. That's why I've sat down for the last week to make this video, because of what Alex Ramosi tweeted. Rule of thumb: give away the information. I'm giving away all the information on how to make cult content. Sell the implementation, which if you want to, you can hop on a call or Instagram DM me and I can help you with it and get paid. But I'm not even worrying about that now. I just want to give you value. And then here are the 3 rules for every value video, according to Devin Jotho, who's one of the best value creators out there. He says, can someone take action on this advice, especially in the next 24 hours? Like for the cult content handbook, you can probably go through, you can really take action on this advice. There's steps, there's things you can fill out. Would someone pay $5 for this information? I hope if you spent this long, you would have paid $5 for it. And does it relate to your niche? And then here's kinds of value videos. There's way more, but these are a couple simple frameworks to always think of. Step by step, quick hacks, alternative options, how-to videos, insights, trends, mistakes to avoid, and wisdom you've gained over the years. And then another type of content is to show your transformation, show how you went from A to B. So if you are showing weight loss or whatever, show when you were all chubby, now show when you're all skinny. And then just builds authority. It shows that you've gone from the steps. If you were broke and now you're trying to teach people to be rich, how you went from broke to rich. So the third type of content is to share contrarian beliefs. And this isn't go tell someone your political or religious views. That puts your money go down. We're not trying to do that. But share views that other people in your niche wouldn't agree with. You can be like, I don't think you should lift every day, or you should lift every day if you're fitness. Like me personally, I say in like the business content niche, I say views don't matter, even though so many people have offers off of that. Because it's not how many views you get, it's really who's viewing that and how many of those views are really converting. And the fourth thing is to document your journey. Let people see you building your businesses, creating whatever, and have a connection with you. It's like all of our favorite artists, if you saw them in the underground build up and become big, you had this connection with them because you see them go from 50,000 monthly listeners to 2.5 million monthly listeners. You have this kind of sense of pride to watch it. So let your viewers have that and have this true connection. And then something a lot of people I try to go over early when they start making content is how not to burn out when making content. It's this simple. Videos your niche wants, videos you want to make, if that the whatever's the in between on that circle. So now going into part number 4, how to build a cult community. So first you got to understand parasocial relationship. Unlike a normal cult where you get to show off your charm directly to your members, you now do it with content. This is where you create parasocial relationships with the members in your audience, which a parasocial relationship is a one-sided relationship where one person invests time, interest, emotional energy in another person while the other person is unaware of the first person's existence. So that's me with you right now. I don't know who you are. I don't know where you're watching. Comment below. Give me a little information to know. We can break the parasocial relationship, but we all have to understand we have parasocial relationships with our favorite creators, artists, athletes, whoever. I got Tim Tebow. Actually, I met Tim Tebow, but that's besides the point. So I guess we don't, but still, I follow a bunch of his content where he doesn't probably remember me. And understanding a parasocial relationship is really crucial to creating cult content to have people have a connection with you. Because humans are social creatures. Ever since the prehistoric times, we have been forced to work together and fit into tribes. But now since people are more isolated than ever and spend so much time online or watch TV or movies, we have become more inclined to create a feeling of relationship with these people online. So here are the 3 things you got to do to develop parasocial relationships with your audience. Number 1, post content that triggers emotion. Make them feel something, happy, sad, whatever. I don't really recommend making your audience feel sad, but if you want a cool, weird parasocial relationship, do that. 2 is post consistently. Let them see your face constantly. Make them feel like, a neighbor you see every here and there. Number 3, show them the human side. Make them have a person to connect to. So lastly, what really is cult content, what it technically is they're just all understanding social funnels to really build an audience. So a social funnel maps out the journey on social media from people discovering your brand to becoming a loyal fan/customer, which is the main idea of making cult content. So here's the general idea of how every funnel looks, even though everyone has so many funnels, some very complex, some very simple. At the top, I just say views. This is you and me right now. You're watching my content. Number 2 is fans. If you go subscribe, you go follow me on Instagram, hunter.mp4. If you go, join my email or whatever. And I'll put you kind of in the fans. If you're constantly engaging with my content, you're going to watch my next video, my next. And last, customers, which it doesn't always have to be customers. This is going to be people that just interact with you all the time. They're in your communities, they're in that. But customers are usually the best for you business owners to understand. And these are people that just buy your service. So here are 2 examples of social funnels. First is Devin Jotho, who's at the top of his funnel is he creates high quality Instagram reels that teach people how to go viral. The next is he leads those people to watch a 33-minute long YouTube video that teaches them exactly how to go viral. And then at the end explains how his company Media Mastery can help, which is his bottom of the funnel, which is a company where he sells people into his Media Mastery, where he makes charges them thousands of dollars to join. Or on the other hand, I have Mr. Beast's social funnel, which is he just creates the most entertaining YouTube videos that appeal to the largest mass audience. Then he posts more content to other platforms to build more of a connection with him. You see this on his Twitter, his Instagram, TikTok, whatever. And then last at the bottom of his funnel, he sells affordable chocolate bars, for $3, like we said earlier, that anyone can buy. So while Devin's, charging thousands of dollars, Mr. Beast is charging $3. So how to create your own social funnel. It's just understanding the basic principles I said earlier. Making content at the top, leading them to, an email list, other social medias, other ways for them to connect with you. If that's a Discord, if that's a school, which a school can also be bottom of the funnel. But in the bottom funnels where they really do have that strong community, that could be your school, like I said. That can go be people buying your products, whatever it is. If it's a tens of thousands of dollars coaching service, if it's a $50 shirt. And just thinking how you can lead the most views there, the most views to the bottom of your funnel where you can make the most dollars. And I'm going to leave you off with, I love a lot of things Alex Hormozi said. I've probably mentioned him 1,000 times in this video, but the most valuable thing you can do is build an audience. And I'm going to take that to another level and say the most valuable thing you can do is build a cult-like audience. So, peace. Thanks for watching.